It's not just you that needs to unlearn your pain and other mind-body symptoms. It's other people too. Everybody needs to unlearn your pain and mind-body symptoms. I filmed a video yesterday about imposter syndrome and sort of where I've reached in this stage of my recovery where I'm living life, like symptoms don't hold me back from doing anything or everything. And during that video, I kind of touched a little bit on what other people's comments have been towards me and how that has like played into my imposter syndrome and sort of the fear of like the symptoms returning. So I was like, I need to make like a bigger, longer video about this because I think that in itself is like a really important concept that is often overlooked. And I know that can, no matter like where you are in your mind-body syndrome TMS recovery journey, it can kind of like derail you and get you into the doubts a little bit. So I wanted to share some more of that today. But before I start, obviously a shout out to Dr. Schubiner, Unlearn Your Pain. His new book just came out maybe like a week and a half ago. Get your copy. It's the best summer read. I have my signed copy. So obviously the Unlearn Your Pain is from the title of this book and his previous books. So thank you, Dr. Schubiner, for giving me the title of this video. I can only hope to expand a little bit upon your wisdom. And also, we're going to be reading off a little bit of notes today because my teleprompter is already in Florida. So forgive me, I will be reading some today because I just wanted to make sure that I didn't forget anything and that I got everything in because I want this video to be the most helpful for you that it can be. You know, a lot of times when I listen to all the TMS gurus on YouTube, like I didn't watch them at all. Like I would have my headphones in doing the dishes or listening to them when I was going for a walk or when I was doing the laundry. So feel free to do that. I'm just going to be here with like a nice background wearing like the same sort of t-shirts and workout clothes that I always wear. Like it's nothing exciting to see here other than my funny facial expressions and reading off my paper. So let's begin. The goal of mind-body syndrome recovery is getting to the point where you are living your life again, unrestricted by your symptoms, doing what you want to do every day, unhindered by the symptoms. Yes, I know. We want to get rid of the symptoms, but the goal is really to live life again. And trust me, when you're living life again, those symptoms, they're still sticking around, they're gonna fade. I know for a lot of you, you are not out there living life 100% again. I promise you will get there if you keep doing the work. This video can still help you no matter where you are in your journey. Because as you start to feel more confident that your symptoms are all mind-body, you can start to do the little things that you want to do, just slowly, even with the symptoms. You're gonna start to take the little steps to get back out there. I really hope that you're trying and doing that. Maybe you start leaving the house more or going shopping or going to a social engagement or doing more physical activities. And guess what? People are gonna notice. You are probably used to your TMS symptoms being like mostly your internal world. Like you feel your pain. Other people can't see your pain. You think about your pain, you obsess, you worry, you try to fix, figure out. Other people can't see that. Mind-body syndrome, TMS, is a very internal syndrome. It's like all in here. And like for sure, there are absolutely TMS symptoms that you can see. Like my dystonia was very obvious when that first happened to me. Or like if you have chronic fatigue, like if you're sleeping all day, like people are probably gonna notice. Or if you had like hives like I did, like people might see the hives. And similarly, unless you're like really putting it all out there on the world, which I'm sure we've all done from time to time talking about our symptoms, like it's a lot of like that's just the thinking, the worrying, the catastrophic thinking, the obsessing, the trying to figure out the fix, the focusing, all that. It's very internal. But even if you're doing your best to follow the core tenets of TMS recovery by not talking or complaining about your symptoms or answering questions from other people about your symptoms, leaving the illness groups, all those types of things, like people are still gonna make comments. And those comments can make you feel like a sick or broken person all over again. Maybe I'm being sensitive, but are we surprised given my TMS personality? Maybe I'm alone in this, but I'm gonna imagine that some of you feel this way too, because I know we all think very similarly at times. With all the hard work you have done to change your mindset, rid the doubt, do the work, no matter where you are in your mind-body recovery, it can be very frustrating to get comments from others. And don't get me wrong, like most of them are supportive. I mean, you're definitely gonna probably have the people that are still like asking about your symptoms in terms of like, oh, I had this friend with back pain, it like never got better, or like, you should probably try this medication, it worked for my aunt. Like you're gonna have like those people still, but you're gonna have the comments, and this is the focus of the video, you're gonna have the comments that are like talking about your progress and even being like encouraging. And sometimes when people are just noting your progress, you're like, wow, was I really like that messed up? Or do they really see me as this person, again, that's still like disabled or has this chronic illness and is never gonna recover, or is always gonna be the person that has knee pain? It can kind of hurt. It can kind of hurt. For a lot of us, we've lived this for so long, so that's become like a part of the identity that other people see us with. And it can be really frustrating. So what do we do about it? We force other people to unlearn our symptoms. We force other people to take that picture that they have of us in their heads, of the person with the disorder, with the person with the syndrome, of the person who has all the medical problems, with the person that is potentially disabled, can never function well again, and is only on like the decline until like the end days or the end day. So force people to unlearn your symptoms. Force people to not see you as that sick, disabled, always in pain, broken person anymore. The person that always has all of these medical issues and is still just like crawling back from them, even though they might be fully back, or even though they're halfway back. And so like, why are we even talking about where they used to be? It upsets me. So what do I do? When people ask, like, don't just tell people that you're okay. You should be like, I'm fantastic. Maybe throw the expletive of like, that starts with the letter F before fantastic if it's like an appropriate situation. I'm fantastic. Great, unbelievable, wonderful, awesome. Okay, I know that some of you don't feel this way. Yeah, it took me a long time to feel that way. But I know you can say you are good. I know you don't even feel good right now. Maybe you're just new to this, and like maybe okay is like the best that you can like muster out to reply to somebody's comment. And even that feels like a lie. But I'm gonna tell you why you're good. You are doing good because you are here and you know that you can recover from TMS. Even if you have the doubts that you can recover, you must believe that people have recovered. I mean, it's irrefutable with all the success stories and all the books and everybody that is shared on the forums, Facebook groups, everything. So there is a possibility that you can too, which is hope. And if you've made it here, you definitely have been in the point in your life where like you literally had no hope again. So you at least have some little bit of hope because you know other people have done it. Even if they don't have your exact same symptoms. Nobody had my symptoms. Like there's a couple people I've learned about now, but like when I started this, like nobody in the runner's dystonia community was picking up on TMS. Like nobody. So I had to forge it all by myself. And look where I am now. You don't need somebody to have your exact same symptoms. You just need to see that people who have a similar story to yours, even though it's not the same physical thing, have recovered. So you have to have hope. And hope means that you're good. You're good. Because I bet you weren't good before you discovered TMS. Just try to say it. Try to say it. I'm good. I know it might feel so authentic. I know. But just try. And I'm not saying it to like lie to your brain. And like obviously your brain knows how you feel. But like, try it. Try it. I know there's controversy about like the fake it till you make it, but like whatever. That's a whole other video to get into. But you're good. I promise you're at least good. You'll get towards fantastic. You will. You will. Your response to other people is very important. Maybe even if it is a lie right now. If you say you're good and you can at least act like it for that moment, people will stop seeing you as bad, terrible, and they'll maybe be surprised that the first thing isn't about your symptoms. So an example of this yesterday is I had to go to the doctor for my last appointment prior to moving to Florida. And I've been noceboed at this doctor before, even though like he is great and he has helped me so much like during like the really difficult year before I discovered TMS. Like, he is like super supportive of me and appreciative of me. And I had so many bad, awful encounters with doctors. So like, he just doesn't know about TMS. Like, he was not taught it in medical school, so it's not his fault. So I do really appreciate this doctor, but like, because he comes from the medical physical lens, like, he says some things sometimes. So I've been noceboed there, and I wasn't going to let it happen at this appointment. Nope, I was not going out that way for the last appointment with this guy. So I planned exactly what I was going to tell him. I went into the appointment and I told him that everything was going fantastic. How are you doing? Fantastic. Literally, that's the word. Fantastic. And then I proceeded to tell him all of the awesome things that I've done, like the half marathon that I did a couple weeks ago, which was my fastest pace, and then how I had done the Memorial Day race and I got second place in my age group. Like, he was just like, wow, that's amazing, great. And didn't even have time to like further ask about any problems that I might be having. So like, we didn't even go down that path. And like, great, because whatever minor symptoms that I'm still having, like, they're irrelevant. We don't need to talk about them. They're irrelevant. They'll go when they're ready to go. They'll go when they're ready to go. A quick aside, and I promise this relates to the topic on hand, in having not others see you as your symptoms anymore. So I've actually seen 2 doctors at this practice, and I hadn't seen the other one since like at some point last year, because he was a sports medicine doctor. And like, once I realized I had TMS, I was basically like, this is all psychological, sir. I don't need to see you anymore. And like, he also was a really great doctor. Again, coming from, sports medicine, everything's physical, but like, was really supportive of me, and, didn't treat me like an idiot, and was totally on board with me just like going my way and treating this psychologically, even though I had pains still, like, and just not being like, let's do another x-ray or MRI, because there was a long time that I saw him that I was like, this new pain, that new pain, like probably every joint in my body. I had so many x-rays, I had so many MRIs, I did like all the PT, hydrodissections, like all the things. So moving, I did not want this person to not know the end of my story. And that was very therapeutic with like all the trauma that had happened to me. So I went and asked for a minute of his time when I was at that practice, and I did the same thing. I told him about how I was doing, and he's a runner too, so like, he got all like the metrics and the specifics of it. And man, he was so happy for me and gave me a hug, and I just like thanked him for all the support he had given me, because I really, really, truly did. Just because somebody's not a TMS doctor doesn't mean that they can't be a fantastic doctor. And man, that was a great closure on my chapter. And like, I'm so glad that I did it before I left the state, and like, could never do it again. Okay. So what else have I done for other people to unlearn my symptoms and not just see me as the symptoms person, the broken person anymore? As I touched on in my other video, I just decided to force people to see me as normal again by literally making them bored of seeing my progress. I just started basically spamming my Facebook page with all the runs that I did. So like, people would just get really annoyed and roll their eyes, especially like the non-runners, because I know it's like really, really obnoxious. But even the runners getting really bored of seeing my runs. And if I added like any commentary, it would be talking about like what music I listened to and like how awesome of a song it was and blah, blah, blah. Like, nothing about symptoms, nothing about pace, nothing about distance, just, oh, I did this run, and like, this is a really cool song that I like am liking to listen to now. Yay. And of course there would be some comments like, what progress, or like, what a comeback story, or like, wow, you're doing so well. And I know people mean it well, right? But it's really frustrating when I'm like, dude, this is like not just like I started running last week. Like, where actually, dude, I'm like, wow, I think I'm actually at the point. Yeah, I am over halfway of like, when all this happened to me and I couldn't walk all of a sudden, I have had more time certainly more time back to walking, because I relearned how to walk, but like more time back running and walking normally than I had during like my sick period. So like, when are you guys gonna let it go? When are you gonna let it go? Like, I got issues. So right, when people make a comment like about anything like that, or even like just like, how are you doing? You're like, how are you? Like, anything. I do not answer any questions, and I just heart it or like it and move on. And I used to get like 20 comments when I first started doing it, and now I don't get any comments, and maybe I'll get a couple thumbs up. So it totally worked. Nobody cares anymore. It's great. So obviously I still get frustrated over it, but in real life it's a little bit more difficult sometimes. Just the other day I had a family member that was like, "I'm so happy to see you back running," and I'm like, "Dude, I've been doing this for over a year. Where you been?" I know it's meant nicely, but it makes me feel like I'm back in that place where I'm still on the struggle bus, and I'm starting to try to get back into physical activity and fits and starts. And I'm just not that person anymore. I'm not that person. And I had a neighbor the other day say, commenting about how, "Oh, I saw you running the other day." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been doing that for 13 months. And she was like, "But no, you kind of stopped and started there in the winter." And I was like, no, I actually ran through the entire winter, even though there was snow on the ground for 3 months and I had to wear spikes in my shoes. I ran all winter. I don't know. Am I rude and obnoxious? Comment below. But people are not gonna just change unless you give them the correct information to change, just like your brain. Truthfully, I'm sick and tired of being seen as sick and broken. People will not change if you just hope they're gonna pick up on the hint. You have to change your actions towards other people if you want them to change their reaction back to you. It's not just not talking about your symptoms to other people and just hoping they'll forget. It's you living your life again, unapologetically, being proud of your progress, not accepting being seen as that person anymore that is just the diagnosis or the disorder, or who has that chronic pain or has that disability. You gotta correct them. You do that by saying you are doing fantastic or good, because you are. You do that by just going out and living your life and repeating over and over again, and just showing people, whether it's showing up to work, going for a run, going to the grocery store, going out for that social engagement, that you are going to do these things because you are a normal person and this is life, and you're just going to do them. And you won't get the comments anymore. "Oh, so nice to see you here again," or "Oh, wow, you're back walking. That's fantastic." And when people say things that are not accurate, correct them. You deserve your recovery. You deserve to be proud of what you've done. You deserve to not be seen like a person that has chronic pain or chronic illness. You've been working so hard to unlearn your pain and chronic symptoms. It's time for other people to do the same and get on board. Thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you would like to see my future videos on my recovery from mind-body disorder. And tell me what you've done when other people are still kind of putting you back in that place that you were however long ago, putting you back in that illness box, in that disorder box. What do you do to help them get on board with unlearning your pain and symptoms?